Hailey Bieber and the Kardashians are decorating their tables with food. Influencers are flaunting their favorite smoothies instead of the latest designer bags. Luxury brands are now selling you coffee and cakes. Nara Smith is making a Marc Jacobs bag from scratch. The Grammys continues to bring in extravagant charcuterie boards that no celebrity ever touches. Rode is propping their lip balms on croissants, while Jacquemus is balancing bags on piles of powdered donuts. Fridgescaping, a trend that has people decorating the insides of their fridges, is all in, and even gourmand perfumes are experiencing a crazy surge in popularity. So food, it's all about food, and yet this is all happening at the same time as people are struggling more and more to afford groceries, and we are experiencing a comeback of Y2K thinness, a heightened focus on weight loss, the rise of Ozempic. So what is actually going on here?
Here's all the food I made my husband for Super Bowl Sunday.
I got Erewhon for dinner, so I'm gonna show y'all what I get. First of all, my favorite smoothie, and I've tried all of them, is this papaya smoothie. It's so good.
And on today's episode of Unrich Your Paul, I present to you Fridgerton. Yes, this is the artistic movement of decorating the inside of one's fridge like Bridgerton. Now, I know you're wondering why, but that's just because you're poor. You don't have the time. You strive to be this level of unemployed, but you can't. You can't even afford to stock up your fridge, let alone Fridgescape. Why? Because you're a povo.
They say that smells can transport you, and today my afternoon sweet treat had me transported to Paris.
Disassociating after work with 6 slices of cake, guys. Oh my lord, let me get you. It's pistachio, berry, caramel, Oreo, berry, freaking mango. Guys, literally look at this. It's a mango.
What screams wealth and excess wealth more than having an excess of food that you are not going to even eat, that is particularly off season, and it is now just tablescape for your parties?
Let them eat cake.
Fashion brands are selling you coffee and cakes because food is the new luxury. With the cost of living, food is now a status symbol, which I think is pretty sad. Look at the Prada Cafe, Louis Vuitton, Dior, Ralph Lauren, Miu Miu. They're giving you a taste of luxury, even if you can't afford the $2,000 bag, because it's more likely you can afford an overpriced cake. Because an expensive coffee is far more attainable than long-term saving in this economy. When times are tough, people are more likely to indulge in everyday little luxuries and little treats. This is called the lipstick effect. And branded drinks create huge hype. Everyone shares their vlogs, creating this FOMO effect. What we're seeing here is the cafe effect, tapping into Gen Z's little treats culture. Nobody is buying this for the taste. It's about social signaling and feeling part of this exclusive designer tribe, serving Instagrammable food to keep you in their world even if you can't buy expensive products. The last 2 years have been huge for designer cafes and food for luxury brands. I think we're going to see a lot more food activations in 2025.
So let us first start with unpacking this little treat culture. I'm sure if you've spent even a little bit of your time on TikTok, you've come across videos of people getting themselves some sort of baked goods, matcha coffee, other fun beverages, small makeup products, and even books as a reward for some accomplishment, emotional pick-me-up, or just something to accompany them while they are running their errands. Well, this phenomenon actually has its own official name, and it's called little treat culture, which is all about treating yourself to a little something fun, to a small and inexpensive pleasure when you're sad or stressed, or on the contrary, happy about your accomplishments and winning in life. Say I've completed a task I've been putting off all week. Well, a perfect opportunity to pop down to a nearby cafe for an iced latte and a chocolate chip cookie. $15? Hell, I deserved it. Or if I'm feeling a bit down and sad, well, nothing a new lip gloss won't fix, right? Me when I have a bad day, I think I deserve a little treat. Me when I have a good day, I think I deserve a little treat. So this culture is all about buying yourself something that feels luxurious and indulgent without the guilt or stress or spending associated with actual big luxury or indulgence. And although everyone is eager to blame Gen Z for everything under the sun, the thing is, good or bad, little treat culture is not a new concept at all. A lot of people and articles and the creator of the TikTok that I just showed you are tracing it back to a theory called the lipstick index, which states that consumers tend to buy small, more affordable luxuries during times of economic hardship. This theory was actually coined back in 2001 by Estee Lauder chairman Leonard Lauder. Noticed a spike in the company's lipstick sales post 9/11 and suggested that lipsticks provided a good gauge of economic landscape, because while during economic downturn consumers may cut back on real splurges, they still spend money on quote-unquote affordable luxuries. So no to jewelry and designer bags, but yes to high-end lipsticks. And this is what we currently see as well. Beauty industry is thriving. And even on a more personal level, as someone who very much enjoys makeup and follows beauty community pretty closely, I'll tell you that the amount of lip products, especially lip balms and lip glosses and lip oils, being launched one after another in recent years have been truly overwhelming. Hell, even the term liquid assets is taking on a new meaning. This article brings up some examples that support the lipstick effect, such as makeup sales increasing during the Great Depression despite industrial production plummeting 50%, and perfume sales rising during pandemic as more people stayed at home and focused on self-care, and we weren't really wearing any lipstick during that time due to obvious reasons. And with this, I want to say that despite the theory's title, lipstick itself, of course, is not the only example of this effect. Again, during pandemic, mascara and other eye products saw booming sales, and a mascara index was suggested. At some point in time, there was also a similar nail polish index, and I have witnessed the skincare index in full effect during COVID, me and Hiram during pandemic. Some even suggest rebranding the lipstick index to the indulgence index, which I kind of agree with that. It sounds just about right. People tend to indulge in lots of different things depending on their areas of interest, from fancy chocolate to a bottle of perfume to even a couple of books. Guilty. Anyways, looking forward to a treat is a tale as old as time. It's all about delayed gratification. Eat your veggies and you can have your fries after that. Finish your homework and you can hang out with your friends. Work your ass off for 40 years and there will be a couple years of comfortable retirement waiting for you. But will they really? Frankly speaking, millennials and Gen Zers have opted out of what is traditionally seen as the normal path. That is, getting a stable, well-paying job, buying a house, starting a family, and retiring. They have opted out of it a long time ago. Because guess what? We are all still doing all those non-fun adult things without the added benefit of being able to afford a comfortable life or any sort of big purchases. Like, tell me, do you still have hopes of saving up for a house deposit? I for sure do not, especially not by just clocking in and out of my regular corporate job. And I imagine a lot of you out there feel the same exact way, which is what contributes to a growing demographic of adults who do have some disposable income, but not enough to actually do anything substantial with it. So my question is, why not get a treat? Why not spend the little income that we have in our hands on things that actually bring us joy, such as coffee, takeaway food, or a candle? It's not like abstaining from these little things will be enough for us to afford buying a house when the cost of living has outpaced wages for decades. So we may as well enjoy our little indulgences that make life pleasurable or bearable. And we are going to talk about the criticism and sort of negative sides of this little treat culture in a minute. But for now, all I can do is roll my eyes when I see yet another article like this, or one of those where they calculate how much money you are spending for your coffee in a year. Yeah, I cannot imagine the scope of things that I will be able to buy for $2,289, especially when that money will mean something entirely else in a year's time. As to other reasons, while little treat culture has become so prominent, some articles see it as sort of a rebellion against hustle culture. It challenges the idea that rewards should only come after an immense amount of hard work. Instead, this trend provides people with a small moment of joy and release during their their day, regardless of their accomplishments. It is also seen as a way of getting your control back. When resources are scarce, researchers have documented two routes that consumers use to cope psychologically. One route is working towards reducing scarcity by gaining more money, and the other route is working towards securing a sense of control. When we are in an economic downturn, there is a bigger sense of feeling out of control, of not being sure what is going to happen with one's job, and all that extra anxiety can be a lot. Shopping is a very predictable experience. Whether we are shopping in person or online, we know what to expect, and that predictability and sense of control can be something that we crave. I don't know, ultimately I think it all comes down to the cost of living crisis and financial insecurity and anxiety that people feel. I think we are also trying to distract our brains from discomfort, trying to find ways to feel better in short term, and certainly trying to fix much deeper problems with, I don't know, avocado toasts and bagels. Now let's also discuss, has the treat culture gone too far? There was this viral tweet last year that said little treat culture is getting out of hand. You don't need an $8 coffee because you did laundry. Well, fair enough. Honestly, I have to say the internet does have a tendency of taking a concept and running with it, and often blowing it up to ridiculous extremes, and little treat culture is no exception to that. I think social media definitely plays a big role in normalizing those treat purchases. Again, TikTok is full of people buying themselves as little treats every single day. And the thing is, what feels like an insignificant spend to one person might be a big deal to another. And for sure, not everyone can afford to treat themselves to an everyday takeaway coffee. But social media presents this as a norm. So the loop of being miserable continues, because now you feel like you cannot even afford what others call little treat. And there is also this idea of turning everything into aesthetic experience, a tendency to romanticize normal everyday activities and also film that and post it on social media. And of course, our good old friend consumerism, which goes hand in hand with everything, and with little treat culture as well. And although at the very core, little treat culture is all about self-care, and there are a number of things that you can do for yourself without ever needing to spend money, still it has become super consumeristic, and boosting your mood or rewarding yourself for your accomplishments inevitably comes with a monetary strain. So yeah, while there is definitely an explanation why little treat culture has become so popular, and there is certainly positive sides to it, I also think that it's maybe gone a bit too far across the internet, and brands have certainly been jumping on this trend and exploiting it for their own benefits. It's no coincidence that coffee shops are constantly rolling out new limited edition snacks and drinks, while bubble tea shops and variety stores like Flying Tiger have surged in popularity. After all, these are ideal businesses to tap into little treat culture, and I myself love Flying Tiger with a burning passion. But also, let's look at luxury brands tapping into food and beverage. Prada's gorgeous pastry cafe in Milan, Louis Vuitton The Place Cafe in Bangkok, Coach coffee shop and restaurant in Jakarta, Tiffany & Co. and its Blue Box Cafe in New York City that allows visitors to indulge in the iconic breakfast at Tiffany's experience, Ralph Lauren and its Ralph's Coffee Shop expanded across the globe, and the list goes on. But you also have to keep in mind that little treat culture is certainly not the only reason for luxury brands to expand beyond their core retailing expertise. First of all, they are definitely just trying to diversify their revenues with this. Same way Chanel sells handbags and nail polishes, Ralph Lauren now sells polos and serves coffee. Also, prestigious locations bring much needed visibility. It increases dwell time, aka the amount of time customers spend within the store. And the more time customers spend within the brand's location, the more they are encouraged to consume this brand's products. If a customer leaves the store to think about a potential purchase, it is less likely that they will come back. But if they consider it over lunch or coffee within the store, there is a higher probability of purchase. With these establishments, they are also creating a whole universe around the brand, combining taste, aesthetics, and ambiance to capture people's attention and ultimately build stronger customer loyalty. Plus, again, I don't think that I need to explain all that social media exposure that is being generated by people posting pictures and videos of stunning dishes presented on clearly recognizable branded tableware. For the general consumer market, luxury cafes democratize the luxury experience, making it accessible to a broader audience. While purchasing high-end fashion items may be beyond the reach of many, dining at a luxury brand's cafe offers a more attainable way to engage with the brand. This inclusive approach helps in cultivating a new customer base, particularly among younger generations who prioritize experiences over possessions. So yeah, for a lot of people, eating out at one of these posh cafes is indeed affordable luxury, though affordable is a relative term because a coffee at one of these locations will surely cost you more than it does at your local coffee shop. Okay, we kind of got to the bottom of this whole luxury cafe craze, but still, what's up with this whole obsession with food when it comes to celebrities, influencers, and also fashion and makeup brands? For example, Jack Antonoff's sister had a party back in the spring of this year, and may I present you pictures of these little sculptures made from food, spaghetti and meatballs, cheese cabins. Yeah, this is truly giving that one party scene in Hunger Games.
Try one of these. They are divine. No, I can't eat anything. Here. What's this? It's for when you're full. It makes you sick. So you can go on eating. How else could you taste everything? I think it's time for a dance. People are starving at 12. Here they're just throwing it up with stuff more in.
And I've already mentioned the Kardashians, but who's surprised? After all, they're always first to contribute to a harmful trend, aren't they?
As food becomes more expensive, we're going to start seeing it everywhere. And we are back at the beginning where the series started with the Kardashians. I want to talk about Khloe's birthday party. She had a Dollywood-themed Khloe Wood birthday party. So there's this whole big thing where like they brought out this cake and it's literally sitting on Dolly Parton pre-made cake mix. Really interesting how we're seeing food being used, not just wasted, not just as decor, but now as a prop to prop up other food, more luxurious food, food that these upper classes would not eat. Like they are not buying this Dolly Parton cake mix from the store. They're using it to prop up their actual food that they're using at a party that only rich, wealthy people who would never really buy this Dolly store-bought cake would even be able to attend. This is food as decor, but it's even more sort of economically questionable. These Dolly Parton cake mixes, in theory, are somebody else's like very big celebration cake. Like this is somebody else's birthday cake, but they are using it to prop up their actual luxurious luxury birthday cake for Khloe. It's just like a very interesting flex, a very interesting subtle flex, but again, using food. Not just food waste, it's literally being like, yeah, we're using food as a prop to prop up our actual food, which is truly kind of crazy. And food is at the center of this sort of flex of wealth and flex of product and flex of like lifestyle in this current era where food is astronomically expensive right now. And the majority of Americans, the majority of people in the world would not be able to do this. And like, that's the point.
And I'm sure you also have seen brands using food in their marketing campaigns left and right. Let's look at Rode, Skims, Jacquemus, Chanel, Loewe, Miu Miu, Saint Laurent. Again, I can go on and on and on. And bear in mind, it's not only luxury brands that are doing it. There has been a rise in food-themed designs in general. And we all have seen and even worn those t-shirts with prints featuring canned foods, butter, and Italian dishes. Anyways, all those marketing campaigns just reflect our growing fascination with food as it becomes more and more expensive for regular people, for us peasants. But for the rich, it starts to serve as a status symbol more than anything else, as a way to distinguish yourself from the lower class. And again, this food doesn't even get eaten, it's there to only ever be displayed.
Food is to be seen and not to be eaten. We're at this weird cultural moment where we are putting a lot of emphasis on food being used to be displayed, to be showcased lavishly, but we don't want you to eat it. We want you to desire it. We want you to flex it. We want you to show it off. But we don't want you to eat it. At least that's what it seems like culture is currently telling us. We want people and we want companies to be aligning with food because it shows a luxury and it's a fun, interesting way to show off products. We don't want to encourage people to eat the food. There are so many instances of food being displayed and not eaten. In fact, we're going to place our product as the meal itself. We want branded butter to show off our croissant earrings. We don't want you to eat croissants. We want you to wear them. That food very much has a place in fashion, in high fashion. But the message is not to consume the food. The message is for the food to be displayed. For you to want the thing that the food is showcasing, but not the food itself. Like, I don't know if this is normal marketing, but I do think, like, as the rise of ultra skinny comes back in, do we want to just show off our food and show that we're therefore not eating it? Like, if I'm taking this baguette holder purse all around a major urban city, like, I'm not then eating that baguette. Like, I'm not bringing this to a dinner party. You know what I mean? Like, the food is the displaying, and therefore you're showing restraint by not eating it, but by using it as a prop. These fashion houses and these luxury brands want to be aligning with the produce. Food is a luxury commodity. But the point is not to eat the food. The point is to display the food and to showcase yourself next to the food. Like, have you guys noticed this? Is this something that you see? Am I crazy?
So food is becoming a new luxury, or it has already become one. It is desirable for the poor who sometimes literally cannot afford it. Yet it is also desirable for the rich, but for completely different reasons. When it comes to societal perceptions of luxury and health, it seems you can benefit from an association with food so long as you embody a form of beauty that ironically distances itself from the act of eating. Moreover, the limited sizing options provided by luxury brands already exclude a significant portion of the population, reinforcing exclusivity based on body size. You can buy a shirt that has spaghetti on it, but they only sell sizes 0 through 8. After all this time, we are back to desiring food instead of eating it. While, and I quote, luxury cafes might be giving you a taste of luxury even if you cannot afford it.
They're giving you a taste of luxury, even if you can't afford the $2,000 bag.
Luxury brands and their marketing teams are also offering you a taste and an experience of food, even if your diet restricts you from actually indulging in it. After all, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, right? Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.